Today is Sunday, December 8th, and this is another update on my progress beating the S&P 500 along with Bill Ackman's Pershing Square holdings. I do make these videos every Sunday and Tuesday, so if you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Since my last update, I did decide to trim 7 out of the 11 largest positions in my portfolio. They were Apple, Amazon, Costco, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and PayPal. I decided not to trim any of my smaller positions because each of them only equal about 1/3 of the larger ones, and I felt like it was worth keeping those ones the same size as they already were. These are going to be all 11 of my current positions. Right now, my top 5 are Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. My top 2 biggest winners are going to be PayPal with a 22.71% gain and then Amazon with an 18.38% gain. The only position that I have in the red right now is Welltower, which has a 5.37% loss. That's the smallest position in my portfolio, which only accounts for 3.17%. I do believe that it's an overall strong company, so I don't see myself selling out of it, but if it continues to drop, I might consider adding to it. After trimming those 7 positions, that brings my overall invested percentage down to 83.26, which means I have 16.74 sitting in cash. This is what the SPY chart's going to look like right now. Everything's exactly the same since all the way back on November 20th, the SPY price being above the 5-day, which is also above the 15. I definitely thought by now that the SPY price would have fallen below this black trend line. Since November 20th, which is when the SPY price broke above the 5-day, there's been 11 trading sessions, which at least to me seems like an awfully long time for the SPY price to not have fallen at least a little bit below the 5-day, which is why on Friday, it wasn't much, but I did decide to sell that 5% out of my 7 biggest positions. If we take a look at the RSI chart on the bottom of the screen, right now it's pretty much exactly at 70. And before this, the last 2 times that it reached this level, the market saw periods of decline. I don't think that it's very likely to see the same sort of declines that we saw previously, but I would expect at some point to touch this green trend line. And if that does happen sooner than later, then I would easily invest that 5% that I originally took out back into those 7 positions. And if for some reason the markets keep moving higher, I'll continue to trim a little bit each time. If the markets open green on Monday, I'm not necessarily going to be in a big hurry to sell more, but if we do end up following this black trend line, I imagine somewhere in this area, I'm probably going to want to sell another 5%. There's only 16 trading sessions left in the year, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the market does heading into 2025. Since Wednesday, my portfolio saw a gain of 2.24%, the S&P 500 had a gain of 0.66, and Pershing Square had a loss of 2.16, which brings us year to date. My portfolio has a gain of 38.07, the S&P 500 is at a gain of 28.41, and Pershing Square on the year has a gain of 7.20. That's going to do it for today. I do make these videos every Sunday and Tuesday, so if you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on Tuesday.